Yeah, that's before.
Wander Franco is...
Wander Franco is in jail somewhere.
Jesus.
Yeah. So and Isaac Paredes left. That happened also before, but nobody is a third. Who's on third?
I don't care.
That's nice. Yeah.
All right, so speaking of, we talked a lot about Israeli baseball. Let's talk a little bit, or a lot bit about, because we have the season coming. Yoni, zeu. No more futzing around. We're talking about the big guys.
When we start the previews, that means we are 6 weeks away from first pitch.
Wow, that's amazing. How does it work every season?
Every season.
Now, let's just say you are, to the great chagrin of your father, a Yankee fan.
Yes.
How did that came about? Isn't there like a fourth commandment, kabed et avicha and his team, you know?
Yeah, I think there is.
Support thy father's team?
Yeah, so I grew up in Farrell, New Jersey, like I said. And around the corner from us, until I was about 5 years old, we had another family that moved to Beit Shemesh actually, 8 years before us, the Saffers, and they're big Yankee fans. And I would hang out at their house a lot, and I would hear my dad and my older brother talking about the Mets and whatnot. And I figured, when I was that age and that mentality, like I needed something to like be not the same as my family. I was thinking like, how can I be different?
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I could be a Yankee fan.
Wow, this is so amazing.
Good seasons.
I mean,
It was the best decision I've probably, the second best decision besides my wife.
Oh, that's nice. Happy Valentine's Day.
Exactly. Happy Valentine's Day, Sam.
I mean, a lot of that's like the second time somebody remembered his wife second after baseball.
Because you make these big statements, and then if someone quotes you, it's like going to be awkward in the future.
You were in the Subway Series. You went to the Subway Series. You and your father. You sat there,
the World Series,
holding each other throats. And squeezing the life out of it, and eventually you squeezed harder.
Yeah, I squeezed a little bit harder. We were there personally.
His father wanted to tell us the story. Game 5, Shea Stadium.
Yeah.
The Yankees has just violated the sacred ground of every Mets fan, won the World Series in Shea Stadium in 5 games.
Yeah.
Mets fans are basically making, they're already out. I mean, they're already out of the stain.
Yeah.
They're already on the 7th line going home.
Yeah.
Your father is still there.
That was, I mean, my dad also will obviously never forget this moment, but...
for other reasons.
Maybe the first time in my life where, like, I made my dad do something, I remember telling him, like, hold off one second. Like, I wanted to kind of take that in, just watch the celebration on the field. Little did I know that would be... the second to last time the Yankees won the World Series in the last 25 years, which is crazy.
Who would have thought?
Which is absolutely insane at the time. That was their fourth World Series in 5 years. 4 and 5 years, and then also, obviously, as you guys know, in the upcoming years, they were in the World Series right around it.
If you look at the Yankees' history, you should have thought it might happen.
It might happen. That's kind of how it works. You win a lot, and
then 96.
Yeah, but that team kept on. You're right. That team kept on punching cards in the World Series.
They were like competitive in the playoffs every year.
2001, 2003. 2004.
Yeah.
And that was like the idea that they will get there every year and they will win it eventually.
And why did they get there every year? Because they used to build lineups very differently than they build them today. They used to think about, we need this amount of power hitters, this type of speed, lefties, righties, strong bullpens. That's what wins games in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the Yankees,
they also had a cadre of amazing. They had a generation of players. They were both a generation of players and generational players. I mean,
but they were never the best players in the league. That's my point.
No,
Jeter was never looked at as a top 5 MLB player. No. Maybe in his prime, a year or two, he had that. A-Rod, but that was also later on. A-Rod didn't win anything with them.
96
You know?
They were just a bunch of very good players.
Very good players that did their
no
job.
star.
Good defensive
No
players.
star.
Scott Brocious, Tino Martinez, Chuck Knobloch, David
Bernie.
Justice.
Yeah.
Bernie was the
Paul
closest to
O'Neill.
a star, maybe.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Paul O'Neill.
Somebody like Paul O'Neill. they
Posada,
brought in-
like Girardi is a
even the
backup
players
catcher.
they brought in, like Cohn and Wells, I mean, they were good,
And
but
they
they were
had-
not the
they had-
romantic. I mean,
had
Clemens
a
was the
bench.
only
Clemens was the
major
only.
guy.
And they had a bench of veterans. When you have like
Exactly.
Darryl Strawberry and Chili Davis.
I mean, when you're,
Those guys.
I mean,
Yeah.
but the best player in your team, the one player who is the best in the world, is your closer. That says something. I mean, they never
Absolutely.
had the Barry Bonds. They didn't have the whatever Jim Thomeys or the
Yeah.
Wolves or the players like that.
Yeah.
So.
And then when they started bringing those,
They started
then
losing.
And now the big question
do it.
is, we have a new season, and that team just made it to the World Series. Will lightning strikes twice? Yoni, tell us about.
Okay, let's talk
the
about
New
what
York-
happened.
The New York Yankees.
do
Okay,
it.
let's start.
We finished last season 94-68. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said we finished last season 2024. I'm like, what,
Yeah.
68?
94-68, first place, lost the World Series.
Just 94.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 5 games.
5
That's
games,
okay.
so thank you
Now
very
we have
much.
to go. Okay.
All right, okay. Who came back?
Who did
new guys.
come back?
Yeah,
Who
who's
did-
the new guys?
you can-
They have
the new guys, yeah. We have Max
yeah.
Fried.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, we have Max Fried.
Very
Which
good.
is our biggest pickup, in my opinion.
I think so. We have Devin Williams.
Yeah.
The Mike Fried is the
Who
reason.
just shaved. He looks
know that-
different guy.
By the way, he looks very different. By the way, Max Fried.
Yeah.
This is a good story. In
Yeah,
2009, I was in Maccabiah. I played against Max Fried on Sport Tech, right
I
here,
was
right
about
around
to
the
say,
corner.
Wow.
I was
I used to
about
play
to
against
say,
Max Fried.
I started doing the broadcasting in the last Maccabiah, which was a disaster. But next time we're gonna bring in the heavy hitters. And I was sitting next to Chaim Katz, and I was like, "Oh, that's fun." And he said, "Yeah, but you realize one of those people may be the next Max Fried." And I'm like, "Get out of here!" So yeah, he played here,
Yeah, yeah.
not here in
Yeah.
Baptist Village
Yeah,
or whatever.
he played right here in Tel Aviv,
Sport Tech.
Sport Tech.
Oh,
And
right.
the stands-
09, exactly.
Yeah.
We had
So we had Max Fried in Israel.
Max Fried was
flying
right
guys.
around the corner.
Nobody
I
knew
remember
it.
those, the owner of Dodgers were there. The Jenny
Buss.
Buss.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a-
I
I
was
don't
there
know.
at the
She was
stands
there.
too.
There was a
was
whole
very-
scandal with her security guard
Yeah,
also.
yeah,
that
yeah.
was
It
here.
was a bit also, speaking of Israeli baseball, all those kids from the UA are like committed to Division One colleges.
Exactly.
And we're like committed to maybe not being in the infantry or the
Being in
shul.
paratrooper.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have Max Fried. We have
Yeah.
Devin Williams.
You do, which
We have Paul Goldschmidt.
that's interesting.
And
choice.
Cody Bellinger.
Yeah.
That's the
Cody
new guys.
Bellinger.
That's the new guys. Who left?
Good.
Anthony Rizzo.
Rizzo.
Well,
Still,
he
doing
didn't
nothing.
leave, he
Well,
just
yeah.
didn't sign
No,
anyone.
he's not going to play with the Yankees.
Yeah,
this season.
we won't miss him too much, in my opinion.
I miss him as a guy. You
Oh,
know,
I love
it was
Rizzo.
I miss him
Amazing personality.
Yeah.
No,
Amazing
I miss him as a
personality.
player. I mean, he was 2 years ago. He
years ago.
was
2 years ago
before
was
the
great.
neck thing. Before the
Yeah.
neck thing.
2 years ago.
It sucks for him. I'm
This
not
is
like,
amazing
you know.
how those things. I mean, I'm not an athlete, but the idea that 2 years ago he was probably the best first baseman, defense, offense.
Top 3 at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, 2 years went by. The age, the
One
injury,
injury,
and everything else, and all of a sudden he's an afterthought.
And he doesn't look as good defensively also.
No,
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I don't know if
lost
you,
it. He lost
I don't know if you
it.
remember the play when we were up 5-zip, bases loaded, 2 outs in the 5th
Oh,
inning,
don't
game
start.
5.
Don't
and
start.
I don't know if
He
you
doesn't
were
cover
saying-
fucking first base.
man.
We saw him at the Cubs. I remember playing against the Cubs, and there's a bunt situation, and the ceremony. Anthony Rizzo goes
Yeah,
for the.
he's moving in
because
like.
Yeah, exactly. He goes to
because
like
you
10
can't-
feet
you
from his
can't
nose.
field with first baseman.
He switched the club.
Yeah, you
gloves.
can't use the first baseman glove if you're not next to first base. So when he comes to the mound, you have to switch
switch the
gloves.
gloves, yeah.
So he's like
Exactly.
going to the dugout and he getting the new glove, and it's a ceremony, and
so cool.
everybody knows it's a ceremony, but it means but it tells to the batter, listen, you can bunt.
Yeah.
It won't do you any good.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's
Rizzo is out. Alex Verdugo is still a free agent. He's not
Yes.
coming back.
Yes.
Yeah. Gleyber Torres moved up.
Yeah.
Tigers.
Tigers.
Yeah.
Juan Soto moved to your team.
Moved up.
Yeah. Jose Trevino left. I don't know.
Trevino
where's
left, yeah.
somewhere. Yeah. Nestor Cortez traded.
Yeah.
Clay Holmes is your starter now.
It is.
Clay Holmes is a good one for the Mets, by the way.
Yeah.
I like that for them.
Tommy Kenley left. That's pretty much the most important
Yeah.
stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Another. What's one position that we didn't take care of?
Third base.
Either third or second.
So right now we have DJ LeMahieu, I believe, penciled in at third base, which is a joke to me. The fact that the Yankees still put faith in him.
Yeah.
And I'm happy we got rid of. I'm happy we got rid of Glaber, by the way, because every year it's the same story. It's he can be the best second baseman in the MLB, and then he turns out to being a very below average second baseman.
I heard Cashman saying that when they brought in Chisholm, they wanted Glaber to move to third and Chisholm to play second, and Glaber didn't want to do it.
Listen,
because Glaber cares about Glaber. Glaber doesn't care about the team. He doesn't care about the team.
Listen,
you could tell, by the way. You could see.
I actually think, and I'm probably alone in that, but as somebody who saw Chisholm for a few years now, nobody in Florida, in Miami knew what to do with him. They put him on second, they put him on center, they put him... All of a sudden he comes to now. He's not a natural third baseman.
Never played there.
Yeah, he's not. So he doesn't know where to position himself. But fielding wise, the coming to the ball, throwing the ball. All of a sudden I'm like, oh, he was a third baseman all along. Nobody knew it.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the maybe it's the having to prove himself.
He's gonna move to second now.
Yeah, he'll move to second.
On the other hand, you have the issue like with Javi Baez, who came to the Mets for 2 months and all of a sudden started taking pitches and being second baseman and doing a lot of things he didn't do in the Cubs. And then he went and signed a huge contract in the Tigers.
And now he's the worst player in baseball.
Yeah, and then that's the moment I said players will go. I started calling the Tigers a metaphor. Because, I said players will do a good couple of years and then go sign for the Tigers as a metaphor. A huge contract in a small team and means nothing. Yeah, go to sleep and then go home and make lots of.
So they don't have a really third baseman. The Nolan Arenado stuff
is
still out there.
Hopefully,
if Chisholm is for real and he started training as a third baseman,
he's going to play second.
He's going to play second. That's what because they got rid of Glaber. So that's the immediate hope.
I really think he's not good as a second baseman. I think he's much better. Well,
look, I think he's an upgrade from Glaber, if you ask me. Because Glaber, he'll make a lot of plays that he shouldn't make, but he'll also miss a lot of average plays.
You can see that what they thought is we have to have a better defensive team.
Yeah,
that's the main thing. And I think that Marcus Stroman last season the ERA was much higher because he didn't have a defense.
I agree with you.
So now you have Goldschmidt at first. You have Chisholm at second. You have Volpe at short.
Volpe is a solid choice.
You have maybe Cabrera or I don't know, maybe Arenado at third. You have
an outfield that could actually play.
You have Bellinger at the outfield, much better than Soto as a defensive player.
Much better as a defensive player.
So the offense is less. We have less offense.
I would say it's about even on offense because you're adding Bellinger and Goldschmidt, right, which replace Verdugo, in the lineup. Torres, who Torres
offensively was okay.
Torres offensively, second half of the season especially was pretty good. But I don't trust him on a year-to-year basis to come ready to camp and ready to play as a competitor. So I'd rather have someone who's a little bit worse but comes to shows up to play every single game and plays defense. And then with Verdugo, obviously a huge disappointment last year. He kind of redeemed himself a little bit in the playoffs, had some big hits and some plays.
All the way.
I don't understand why the Yankees kept on trusting him.
You can see he's still a free agent.
It's the classic Josh Donaldson, Alex Verdugo, these guys that the Yankees consistently bring in on a year-to-year basis, and they're like, they used to be good. 5 years ago, they were MVP. We're just waiting him to come out of his shell and be good. But, it never fucking happens. You don't get guys who, after 3 years removed from their prime, come back to playing baseball, and all of a sudden they go back to being in their prime.
So Goldschmidt?
Exactly.
Goldschmidt.
It's a year, two seasons.
Exactly.
Away.
So Goldschmidt, I'm expecting him to be a little bit worse than he was last year. Why would I expect any better?
So that's not good.
It's not great. It's not great. He's on the downward slope. There's no two ways about it.
Since he took the MVP, he's on a.
That's 2021.
I think 2022.
Okay.
But 2023 was he was half the player, which is good because
he was still good.
Half an MVP is still good.
Yeah.
1 year later, half the player.
Yeah.
This year, you're gonna have a result 2.0.
Sometimes when you change places, you become better.
Yeah.
Not at the age of 30, 8.
Matt Holliday a few years ago for the Yankees.
Yeah, he had
he had 2 months that were incredible.
Soriano
came back.
That's a good call. Also, when he came back,
the big issue, and I said it when Soto signed, when Soto was transferred to the Yankees, I said all of a sudden this very good lineup makes sense. All of a sudden, everything fits.
Yeah.
Soto is out, Bellinger is in. Does Bellinger do for the, and once again,
Not offensive.
Without
Yeah, not as
Soto-
much. Not as much.
Without
offensive,
Soto,
for sure.
let's just say no World Series. Let's just put it
last
on the
season.
Yeah.
Last season.
No,
No
playoffs.
World Series.
No playoffs.
I'm saying,
Maybe no playoffs.
You need to go to the playoffs to win the World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't get to the
Yankees-
playoffs.
We probably would have had
Yankees
85,
are
86
one-
wins without Soto.
The Yankees offense is one guy team. Is Judge. Judge brings in numbers which are ridiculous. I mean, you look at what he does, and I'm like, if I was running MLB The Show with a player like that, I would call EA Sports and say, guys, you have bugs in your game. Nobody can be that good.
Yeah.
He brings in numbers. I mean, I'm like, especially in the last 3 years when they did the 62 home runs and the 2 years afterwards, he's ridiculously good all around the thing. He's not good in clutch, he's not good in thing, but he's good. He's the only one.
Yeah.
And Soto was the
He's
one
the
thing
best
that
regular
balanced.
player ever.
Yeah, and Soto balanced the team in a way that pushed them all the way to the World Series. Now the question is, can Bellinger do the same thing? Because if
It's
he can't,
not. It's not the same. They're moving other direction. You
Right,
can't.
but-
You
Yeah,
can't
they're not gonna ask him to
replace-
do the same
You
thing,
can't
yeah.
replace Soto. You can't do
fine.
it.
No,
Nobody
but I'm
will.
saying,
Yeah.
does
So
bringing
you say,
Goldschmidt and okay, never. The point is,
We're not
do-
gonna have the same offense.
Of
We're
course.
gonna have a better
defense and a better bullpen.
So
a
we're
better
gonna win
pitching.
games the other way.
All
Okay?
right.
You have a closer, which we didn't have for 3 years,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Since Chapman was good. I don't remember when was that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we have a
yeah.
closer.
Players.
The rotation is
2015 probably.
the rotation is great. I think
The
so.
rotation's fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You have Garrett Cole, you have Rodon, you have Luis Gil, the rookie of this season.
Yeah,
you
Clark
have
Schmidt,
who's great.
who's solid, really
Yeah,
solid.
and Max Fried.
And Stroman
And
as
Stroman
a six.
is
Yeah.
for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stroman didn't show up for the spring training.
They tried trading
And he
him for,
unfollowed the Yankees.
So
on
you know
Instagram.
why he didn't get
he-
any playing time in the playoffs. That's why.
Yeah, I know.
He was
No,
very,
but
very
I mean,
pissed about
maybe,
that.
but the
Yeah.
thing is, they tried to trade him for Renato. That's
They still do.
Yeah,
They,
they're still
he
trying to,
knows
yeah.
that he's not there.
I don't
that
think he's going to be in the roster starting
He
the season.
knows
Yeah.
that
I'm fine
the
with that.
first guy who tells them, listen, take this player for Stroman. Stroman is already on the plane. He knows
for
that.
sure.
Yeah.
But we have Lewis Heel also, who's a rookie last year. Potentially
Yeah.
could be a really high-end starter in,
Yeah.
in
The
baseball.
thing,
Schmidt
yes,
looks
but
good.
again, I'm thinking that defense is good, bullpen is good, everything is good. If the lineup doesn't have some sort of balance, Bellinger, Goldschmidt, Judge, Stanton, whomever, Chisholm,
Yeah.
if that thing doesn't tick the way it did,
Volpe.
Volpe's a big
I don't know
piece
about
of
Volpe. I mean, I'm not a Yankee fan.
I don't
but
either. I don't either.
think
Yeah,
Volpe-
We're still waiting for the jump, you know.
We're hoping
I'm thinking
for it, yeah.
Volpe is good. I think is better than people give him credit because people think about him as the next Jeter, which
Yeah,
he's
it's not going to
Yeah.
be. It's not gonna
But I think he's good. But I think he's good as a number 6-7. I don't think he's
Yeah.
good as a number 1-2.
100%. He's a
So
piece.
I'm thinking
Wells.
Yeah.
if Bellinger can bat before Judge or just after Judge, between Judge and Stanton, or before Judge,
Yeah.
and Goldschmidt can bat like between.
Six or around six.
I don't know if
Yeah,
you can bat
5,
after
6,
Stanton, like, and you have this, and Chisholm is somewhere in the middle, and you
Yeah, I
have.
think it's gonna be
and you
like
have-
Chisholm, Bellinger, Judge,
Doesn't matter. The point is, if you
Goldschmidt,
have,
Stanton, something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not the point. The point
Maybe
is, if
Judge
you can
before,
have
yeah.
those people, taking and humming and making life miserable for the other side, then yeah, it's gonna be a great team. If you don't, then you will win games based on rotation and defense and bullpen and all that. But it's going to be very hard in the close games. It's going to be hard when the slump comes, which it always comes. So I'm thinking the Yankees are not a good team this year as they were last year. That's my opinion.
Okay.
So I'm not saying they will not be in the playoffs. I'm not saying they will not go far because they still.
Next team we're gonna talk about Baltimore, and
Yeah.
it's gonna revolve together because
So-
I think we're gonna have a three-head team. I think a
All right,
three-head
so
team
just,
at the top.
Yeah, I
just
agree.
before we move there, they won 96 games.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they will make it this year, but I still think
94. We went 94.
94. I'm thinking 90 plus, and I'm thinking still probably first place in the division based on the other.
First to third with I think first to third with Boston and Toronto. And Toronto.
And
That's what I think.
Obviously, but
Baltimore's not going
I
to
think
be there.
Baltimore's not going to
I
be
think
there.
Baltimore
No.
Baltimore could end up being the 5 seed in that division. They can end up being the
Yeah.
1 seed. It really depends on their young
All
players.
right, so let's move to Baltimore.
Yeah, let's move to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Baltimore lost. Okay, let's start with last season. They won 91 games, 91-71. They lost to the Kansas City Royals 2-0 in the divisions. The wild card, sorry.
Yeah.
The wild card, they're not in the division.
They lost 2 huge players.
Yeah.
They lost Corbin Burns.
Yeah.
They lost Anthony Santander.
Yeah.
They brought a bunch of players who are not great players.
Yeah.
No one of them.
The thing is, I think that even more than losing those players, I think, and we spoke about it before the offseason, the new management needs to make a statement. What they did with those signings or non-signings, they told them, listen, 90 plus games in a season and not making in anything.
2 seasons in a row.
Yeah, but
2 seasons
they,
in a row.
they told them, listen, 90 games plus, 90 to 100 in the season, not making, losing in a sweep in the offseason. We're
didn't
good with
win-
that.
Yeah.
We're good with that.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, that's what they told.
I thought
that's
something
what
else.
they told
No,
them.
I thought something else.
What did they do?
You came twice to the postseason. You didn't win 1 game.
Yeah.
Change it
We're,
up.
we're, we're, go-
Yeah.
we're out.
This isn't the
we're
team.
out.
Yeah.
We're out because you didn't bring anybody. You lost 2 big players.
So what did they tell
They
them?
didn't switch with other 2 players.
I think they're
so they
thinking-
told them we're good with what
I think
happened.
Baltimore right now is thinking more like next 3 to 5 years, like that's their window to complete.
because Rutschman
like,
is going to be a free agent in 3 years.
exactly, and
Gunnar Henderson is gonna
Jackson's going to start putting together
and they
some
still
numbers.
have
Like
great farm guys. They still have
Yeah.
great prospects.
Yeah.
They will be there at 90, but they will never do
don't think
anything
so.
else because the ownership just told them, listen,
think
what
so.
happened the last 2 years is good enough for us.
Who's gonna hit the 40 home runs Santander did? Who?
I think
Tyler O'Neill? Who?
Listen,
well, Tyler O'Neill is a good addition. He's a good addition actually. He's their
They're
best
gonna
addition.
have- they're
you
gonna
know?
have
He's
a
going to be in the middle of their lineup. He'll
Listen.
produce. He's a vet.
Dylan Carlston?
They're gonna have a good team.
Yeah.
Listen, we didn't
All
know
right.
who Gunnar Henderson was 2 years ago. Now we know. We
Yeah,
didn't know-
but you can't find those from
Obviously
nowhere
they
every
did.
season.
Yeah.
They
but,
do.
But you can't count on that. Come on.
No, they can't. But that's what I'm saying. They're
They
not.
brought in Gary Sanchez.
Listen, they're not going to be. Gary Sanchez is going to be replacing at the Rutschman.
Replacing the hot dog stands.
Is he
Yeah.
starting right now?
I don't
Gary
think-
Sanchez?
I
No,
don't
no,
think
no.
so.
At
No
Rutschman
way,
is
right?
the catcher. But that's the point. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, of course.
you saying they told them, okay, we don't care if you
James
lose.
McCann left, so he's
McCann.
instead of James McCann.
You're saying that
Gotcha.
they were told, listen, you can lose the season, we don't care. I don't think.
They gave up. I think they gave up.
But they never. That's the point. I mean, we're saying the same thing. But
They
for
brought
me-
in Corbin Burns last offseason, right?
Right.
What's the move they did this offseason?
They didn't,
Nothing.
but that's the point.
They lost 2 players. They didn't bring anybody.
Listen, we're both saying they gave up. Maybe we're all saying they
Yeah.
gave up. But the point is, I'm saying they still have enough material to still win 90 games a season. That's what I think.
I don't think so.
Maybe if you aim to play, if you aim to win 90 games a season, you will win 80. If you aim to win 80 games, 85 games a season, as the Mets did last season, you may get there, but it's going to be a hard.
Well, the best new player they got is Felix Batista, who just came back from injury.
Listen, they
So
still
it's
have,
like the
they still have they still have an insane.
In my
farm
opinion,
system.
you have 5 teams in the AL East. Obviously, you have the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Blue Jays. That, in my opinion, have strong rosters coming into this year, and you expect them to compete for that at that 90-game level, or at least approach those 90-game levels. The Rays, who have gotten significantly worse, in my opinion,
Yeah.
Right.
and last year, like already, the Rays aren't trending in the right direction these days. Then you have Baltimore, and Baltimore, in my opinion, is by far the biggest wild card in the
wild card.
division.
Yeah, okay.
They could end up being the 5 seed and win 50 games this year. They could also end up being
Listen,
the
the
first seed
biggest-
and win 95.
The issue is
I'm going
that
for option A.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
we've seen-
closer to
in the past, I don't know,
the 5
4 or
seed
5
first.
years, we've seen constantly that the AL East winning 80 games, winning 85 games gets you bupkis
No,
because
yeah.
everyone there is winning 90. You need to win 100 to get second, maybe, on some seasons. So I'm not saying Baltimore is going to go to the playoffs because winning 90 games may not get them a playoff spot. If the Yankees win, 98 and Boston wins 95, then they will not win anything.
Well, they'll still have a wild card.
But
yeah.
I still think they have enough material there to
I think
maintain
they're gonna be a 500 team, and
I don't think so.
And think at the end of July they're gonna lose some like
Well, that's the
It's
thing.
very
A 500 team is 82 games. Well, I'm saying, okay, 5 more games and they're 87.
That's baseball.
Yeah,
Small
but that's
differences.
the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I don't think it's gonna be there.
I think they still have enough good players to get those extra 7 games.
Who's gonna win Corbin Burns games? Who?
Dude, it's not like Corbin Burns 130. Listen,
He was their best pitcher.
By far.
yeah, but they won 100 games without him. It's not. They have good
They
material
won 91. 91.
without him.
With him.
Without him, the year before that,
The year
they won-
before, other things happened, you know.
Without
That's 2
Gunnar,
seasons ago. That's
it
2
wasn't
seasons
with
ago.
Gunnar Henderson was not there. Corbin Burns was not there, or maybe
It's
it
another
was.
team. It's another league. That's not the same.
Yeah, but
better
that's
pitching.
the point. They can win. That all they're gonna win. We all agree they're gonna win 83 games. Let's just say that.
Around.
The only question is whether
It's
they
gonna
can.
be the other 10 games.
Exactly. I think they can win at least 5 to 7 more games, maybe a bit more. And
another problem they have, Boston is a better team now.
Yeah.
but
That's all the
yeah,
divisions
but that's
problem.
again, that's across the board. So Boston is going to win against Baltimore, against the Yankees. I mean, it's like the AL Central. The White Sox lost to everyone, so all of a sudden the Royals and the
Have
Guardians
big
and
records,
everyone is the playoff. The Tigers are.
So let's move on to Boston.
Okay, let's do that.
They finished third, right up 500 team,
Right.
81 wins, no playoffs.
Yeah.
Who came? They have Garrett Crochet
Yeah.
with a
That's a big one.
trade,
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
They have Walker Buehler,
Also a big one.
hopefully a healthy guy.
Who knows? Who knows? That
Yeah.
was the big unknown. The guy I think threw a complete season in these past 4 years
Yeah.
or something.
If he's healthy, he's a great piece. If he's available in the playoffs, he's a great
Potential-wise,
piece.
he's one of the greats.
And just like Felix Bautista, they have Lucas Giolito coming back. He didn't play 1 game with them last season, and he should be healthy for this season. Breaking news, Alex Bregman.
Yeah, which
That's a big thing.
Betrayal.
it is, especially the way they got him. What happened there?
It's conflicting because Alex Bregman is an Astro, a Red Sox. You know, my two obviously most hated
All
teams.
right, most hated teams, right?
And he's a Jew, so like
And you're saying
I don't know how to approach
maybe
him.
we'll play
And
WBC.
there's talk now that he might be playing next
Listen.
year for Team Israel. I'm like, I don't
Till
think
then.
I could.
Till
Until then,
then.
I fucking hate the guy. But like,
No, that's the thing.
We'll
I mean,
reassess.
We all have that. I mean, I always laugh that Jock Peterson could go play for the Phillies when he and I will and score and have a home run, and I'm like, good, get ready for the WBC.
yeah, exactly.
And let's try getting that home run back some other way.
You know, when Yossi Abukhtis was playing in national team, I was
Yeah.
tough
No,
time.
well, that's a different thing. I mean, with beggars can be choosers. I mean, when he hit 3 home runs with the Giants against the Mets,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yay, but why?
Why did it have to come?
Yeah,
Against the
exactly.
Mets,
So
yeah.
it's a bit of it's a hard thing to have, but. I mean, when we do have them, it's fun. When we do have the Dean Kramers and the Jock Petersons
it's
and the Alex
amazing.
Bregmans playing for
The Max
the Israeli
Frieds,
team,
yeah.
Max Frieds,
For sure.
That's amazing. Then you have to face them in the regular season.
You know who's their closer?
The Red
They have
Sox.
A new one.
Who is it?
Chapman.
Oh, I didn't know
Brought
that.
in Chapman.
So there goes the third. There goes the winning season. That's not a close.
I think that's their problem, a closing
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
They
Back
don't
of their
have-
bullpen.
Yeah, the back end of the bullpen. Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
it will. I don't think it will
They
close.
lost
games.
Jensen, which is also a...
It's a loss.
They didn't lose a closer. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They lost
Jensen
Tyler
was-
O'Neill also.
Yeah.
lost
Tyler
Tyler
O'Neill, Paxton left.
He's alright.
Yeah.
Chris Martin, Nick Provera.
They got better.
Johnson, I think they
Red
got
Sox
better.
got better.
They have a very good lineup.
Very good.
Yeah.
Bregman is a big question. He started the season bad. He improved. He's not going to be a third baseman, obviously.
He's going to play second, I think.
playing second, I
Devers
think.
is going to be a third.
Yeah,
Trevor
for
Story
sure.
short.
Yeah, I don't know.
not a bad
It's
infield.
Yeah.
kind of
It's not bad.
It sounds nice on paper. Papers tend not to win games.
Yeah.
They have still the weirdest baseball field in the still well probably the only really weird baseball field still in existence. So defense is always going to be tricky, and I mean it's always weird things. I mean there's a thing that when you get a double to left, because left field is so close, they don't tend to throw because they assume that the runner would stop on third. So players who played against them, sometimes they're told move, they're not gonna throw. It's like, but it's 2 feet away. But they think you're gonna stop, move away. So it's weird playing there.
I think they saw Alex Bregman's number at Fenway. That's another reason they really wanted him. He has like OPS of 1,240.
Playing against the Red Sox.
Playing in Fenway.
That can mean a lot, and
it can mean a lot. It can mean nothing.
A great place for a righty to play. You know.
That's the thing. But I'm saying the Red Sox is really weird because they are like the reverse Rays. The Rays do everything by the book, by the analytics. The Red Sox have still things happen there. Players get better there, or they get worse there. Or
I think they have a big 2 questions. First of all, Duran came after a big season. Can he make it again?
I don't know.
And Trevor Story, he's like 2 or 3 seasons away from his good season.
From his best season,
And if they don't have if Walker Buehler is not playing good, they just blew a lot of stuff on it. They have a hole in the rotation. He's supposed to be, if not number 1, number 2.
No, they have Crochet, they have Giolito, they have Buehler, they have
Giolito
they have Carter Crawford. They have a good rotation.
Everything's
on paper.
No, but that's the thing. That's a lot of that's like
a lot of question marks.
A lot of question marks because it's not like Fried and Cole and whatever that you have proof that they can play a full season and win. A lot of people who either did not play or did not play a full season or are not proven. I mean,
which roster is better? Theirs or Baltimore's?
Which what?
Which roster is better? Theirs or Baltimore's?
For win now, I would say the Red Sox.
I say they have a better rotation. I still think they have good.
And lineup 1 to 9, I would say the Red Sox have a more dangerous lineup.
I think the player. I'm thinking the players. Baltimore's player will get them in. They have proven record in regular season, close games and winning stuff. They can get that extra again. Those extra 5 to 10 games that. You may win, you may lose. I don't know if the Red Sox teams is unproven. I can tell you. I would be happy to for you guys if they fail. I would be indifferent if they win because I don't care about them one way or the other. To me, it's gonna be a toss-up. I'm still thinking they can. I'm still thinking 500. I'm really can't see them.
I'm waiting for a first game Chapman has to close at the stadium against us.
I don't think
that would be fun.
That would be very cool.
Unless, who's their coach? Cora? Unless Cora comes and says, he's our closer, I don't think
The bullpen is not good.
I don't think he's closing. Jensen did not close. I mean,
he had 27 saves
last season. No, I thought he was removed to a setup position or something like
November.
I mean, Chapman is an excellent setup. He sets up a great drama after he blows after he blows the lead.
After he walks through batters.
Even if he comes as a closer, he's still the setup because when he moves away,
the game is gone. The game is gone.
I'm happy that Chapman is their new coach.
That's good news for the Yankees. I don't remember who we joked about that. The one benefit the other team has that Chapman is on the other team. I think the Royals. He was in the Royals.
Yeah, might be.
So we said, the great thing that the other team has is Chapman is in the Royals. It's a joke. I mean, he's 100. He tossed in 105, but he's a joke.
Okay, Blue Jays.
You have to tell me. I have no idea.
Okay, they finished last. 74-88.
That's in Josh league they would have been relegated. And everybody would have been very happy.
That's a nice offseason.
Great offseason.
Santander. They brought Santander. They brought Andres Jimenez from Cleveland.
Great move.
Miles Straw is a great defensive player with no offense.
No offense at all. He could run the bases, but that's it.
Maybe,
And they did not trade Bobby Shett.
They did not break Bobby Shea, and they brought a young starter named Max Scherzer.
His
future is ahead of him.
All of his future,
Listen,
3 months of future ahead of him.
Listen, all joking aside, Boston, Blue Jays, Toronto is really a good example of somebody who says, listen, we יעלה כמה שיעלה, I will try whatever, because you look at what they make towards what they expend, and it's basically the same, which means they're losing money because they make money in Canadian dollars and they spend it in American dollars, which means they're basically losing a lot of money that whomever is owning them. And they have a very beautiful ballpark as long as you look up. When you look down, it's and I don't know, it's kind of what the team that everybody likes to, they're a very nice team, like Baltimore used to be. They have those great young players who goes nowhere, but everybody knows a great talent. And
they have a great rotation.
Jose
Barrios, Kevin Gausman, Chris Bassett. Maybe Alec Manoa, I don't know.
You know, I keep feeling
they're solid.
They have great players and they have great talent. And they have old and youngs. And I feel like we had this discussion last year, and I think we had it the year before, and probably the year before that. And the year before that, we didn't have a podcast. So every year we say they have good rotation, they have great young players, they have good defense, they have nice offense, and every year they go nowhere.
I think the big question is Bichette. He had a very bad season last season. He has to bounce back.
You have to. I mean, this is that's his career on the line. This is
for free agency.
He's also a shortstop. You know, like he got to play his position a lot better. He's not a good defensive shortstop, and if he wants to get big money this year, like he's gonna have to play.
He was for a moment looking like the next, I don't know, big 5-tool player, offense, defense.
Like a Troy Tulowitzki type.
That Carl Ripken magic. Well, it's shorter, but the Jeter Carl Ripken. You know, the leader, the guy who puts in the hit, who puts in the home run, who throws the players and everything. And he's not there. He's absolutely not there.
He's gone backwards, I would say. Even,
he's gone backwards. He needs a haircut. He needs to grow up a beard. Honestly, I'm serious. He needs to put his head. I mean, if he would have been traded to something like the Pirates or whatever. Sorry, Pirate fans. Maybe that would have been the greatest thing that happened to him, because he realized that the next from here it's AAA in Korea or whatever.
Like Taurus.
Yeah, exactly. He needed that. Maybe we'll get it in free agency, or maybe we'll bounce back. I don't know.
That's the beauty of baseball to me, though. Is like you could come in as like this top prospect. You have all the tools. You have everything, and then it just doesn't work, and then it'll be level.
And I think
like you'll have the opposite also, where you'll have players that come in and it's like nothing really excites me about this guy, and then comes into the MLB and he bats 300.
20 years later, and the guys have a career. And that's the thing. I mean, and you have and I think the big problem is that Vlad he is good without putting any effort, because he is really good. So he can just wake up like half an hour before, come to the baseball, do a bit in the cage, come hit 2 home runs, win the game. And everybody in that team looks at him and said, well, I can oversleep as well. I mean, I've been oversleeping for my whole life, and it's easy.
It's only the 1% that can do that.
You have to be Vlad Guerrero to do that. So I really think that if that team, like in 2 years when those players move away, they may have a better chance of because to me it feels like then they're still not going anywhere.
It could be a culture problem also.
Probably.
I think they have a managerial problem also.
I mean, maybe
Joe Schneider is not a good manager.
And being
not
in
getting
Canada,
the best of them.
Being the only team in Canada, the fans are just grateful that you're still there and have not moved to Nashville or whatever.
For sure.
It's kind of, it feels, and I really think baseball should be more Canadian. It has.
There's no reason not to.
I mean, you have like 20 million people in Canada. They can come.
You have a bunch of great Canadian baseball players, right? Like the talent's obviously there, and the market you would think is there in, maybe not in Montreal, but like they've tried, but in Vancouver.
I think the problem is the media markets. The fans will be there. The 20,000, but the media market is the issue, and Canadian media is probably not as spending. Don't spend the big bucks like some American.
Tampa Bay?
Wait a minute. What is your expectation?
I think they're gonna be better.
I think they're gonna be the same.
I'm going to guess that they're going to be third seed behind Yankees and the Red Sox. That would be my guess.
After they won 70, you think they're gonna win 74 games again? Like pretty much like that?
I think
they're
place?
gonna
Last place?
I don't know about last place, but they're gonna be fourth.
They're not gonna contend.
No. I think they're gonna be, and it's gonna be another lost season.
I'm saying 85. That's my guess, and they'll contend.
Oh, that's a good one.
They'll contend for the playoffs.
Right.
I don't know if they'll make it, but
gonna,
they'll be up there.
I'm really.
That's my guess.
I mean, would be happy to be proven wrong.
Okay, Tampa Bay.
Never bet against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's true.
That is
Even
very
though last season.
I don't care.
Okay.
They're just
I mean,
very
I would say
well-run
last season
organization.
would have been a good season. It was a bad season. Again, never bet against them. If I say they're good, they're bad. If I say they're bad, they're good. I never bet against
They're
them.
the best run organization in baseball.
Yeah,
The last
they're
15
amazing.
years.
They do
without a
everything
doubt.
right.
Yeah.
And it's the decay, and we keep saying that. Everybody knows first pitch over the plate. They don't just say that.
Yeah, exactly.
They basically, if you don't do it, you might go down to the even if you do it, you go down to the minor leagues. But they do everything by the book, and that's the only way they can survive.
Yeah.
This year, by the way, no home field. Well,
Yeah.
whatever home ground
Home field
they
advantage
had,
for the Yankees. Yeah.
I mean, I think the
No
moment
Steinbrenner
I think bringing a half-empty stadium to the playoffs was the moment you realized that team. I mean,
It's got to go.
yeah,
most fans they had
this
was
is the
2020.
thing. You don't have a team in
The
Montreal.
COVID season.
That's the
That's
thing.
crazy,
You don't have a team in Montreal, but you do have that thing. That team. It's so amazing.
But like not in Montreal, let's say like you said before, Nashville, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch of cities in the U.S. or Vegas.
Yeah,
is going to
but
be
that's-
one at some point.
that's the thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's so
there's
much
gonna be
area
an
in the U.S. that
expansion.
there's no
There's
baseball
going to be an
team.
expansion. I would have loved it to be Oakland and Montreal. In reality, it's going to be, I don't know, Nashville and
Nashville, and then maybe like
Jacksonville or something like that.
I hope they stay away from Florida.
Yeah.
Because Florida's just not a good baseball place.
Orlando. Oh, Orlando. It's going to be.
Orlando.
Oh my
God,
It's going to
Orlando.
be. Read my.
Three teams in Florida?
You see Orlando at least.
It's gonna
Orlando
be,
makes
mark
sense.
my words, I'm
makes
saying there's two things I'm gonna say here. It's gonna be Nashville and Orlando, and we may not get a 2026 season. But that's a
What do you mean by May? You already said it's not gonna be a season. Now you say May? You said that's the last season. That's what he said.
No, I'm saying that it's probably not gonna. No, it's not gonna open for sure. It may not end even.
Austin might get a baseball team at some point also. Austin, Texas.
Another team in Texas.
There's a lot of people there.
Yeah, but is there a baseball? It's like Portland. Austin is like Portland. I mean, they have a basketball team.
It's like the Texas version of Portland, maybe, but like you still have, I would say, more baseball people there.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how much.
It's a fast-growing city, similar to Nashville, right? Like it's just a big, growing city that, like, I could see a baseball team being there at some point.
Tennessee has more sports culture.
Yeah, or Charlotte, North Carolina, also.
Yeah, exactly. So you still have this sports culture.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, but Nashville is a shoo-in. I mean, they got a football team.
Yeah.
They got everything.
Nashville's easy.
Nashville is, and Orlando. I'm just saying it's gonna be Orlando. Austin.
Okay, let's get back to today.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. So they didn't do anything. Okay, what's new?
Who did they lose?
They bring in Ha-Sung Kim.
Yeah.
Who's injured, right?
Yeah,
He's injured.
they should be ready in May.
They have like one every season. They get one guy.
Yeah, that's the one. No, they brought Danny Jansen, and they have a new guy that came from Tiny John, which is Shane McClanahan, which was a great pitcher before.
McClanahan was good.
Yeah. The question
but
is
that's
really
coming
good.
back. Yeah, they left Jose Siri left, and Jeffrey
Went
Springs,
to Met.
and some kind of relievers nobody knows.
Ours Arena left.
That's before.
Wanda Franco is.
Wanda Franco is in jail somewhere.
Jesus.
Yeah. So and Isaac Paredes left. That happened also before, but nobody is a third. Who's on third?
I don't care.
That's nice.
Listen.
Yeah, it's one of those seasons where like the Rays going into, and there's been a bunch of these seasons over the last 20 years where like you're like, how are they going to do it? They're going to win 40 games, but like they might find a way to win 90 games. You know? Like,
And you look now at the top prospects.
Yeah.
You don't have them there.
Yeah, you don't.
It's not like before. You had like 5 Rays in the top 20.
But they're still gonna bring up this. What was this weird guy's name?
Oh, yeah, he was coming up and down.
Yeah, he came up. The guy, his mother was sitting in the. He's Taj Mahal. No,
Tad Gibson?
No, I don't remember the name. That's the thing, I don't remember the name. He was like, he came in, and after he came up and down twice, they said, no, this time he's here to stay in the rotation for the next month. His mother kept sitting, Durham, the Durham Bulls, they're AAA affiliate. And she kept sitting with that. She didn't bring a Tampa because she knew he's going to be back there. Yeah, so it's kind of like that, and you never know who they're going to bring. They're going to bring somebody you never heard of. He's going to throw 2 games. He's going to win them both, and then he's going to vanish off the place of the
Sounds like a song,
Yeah, I wish I had one. And then again, they might just lose.
Yeah, I think they're gonna finish last.
They have a bad lineup this year. Their lineup is bad.
Their problem is that they are still in the AL list, and again, it's going to be another season where number 1, 2, and 3 are in the low 90s at least, if not the high 90s. And they're probably not going to make a high 90. So
look, it's hard for me to believe a team that last year had I think the second or third worst offense in the MLB and didn't make any improvements to their lineup. It's hard for me to believe that they're going to compete with the other teams.
They were benefited. They benefited from people like a Rosarina. They benefited from people bringing in the.
They have Yandy Diaz. That's what they have.
Didn't they sign?
It was decent.
But he's longer.
Yeah. They have the gimmick with the lows and the lows and the thing. They have,
Brandon Lowe.
2 players. They should have just brought Nathaniel Lowe and finished up.
Yeah.
Tough. Well, we can talk baseball apparently for 2 hours, top, but we need to go. Yoni, you have a good lineup for us?
You want? Yeah.
Yeah, we have
a lineup with a thing,
Oh yeah, we have a lineup with a thing like players. This is a fun thing. He's gonna tell us a lineup of a game from 98 to still 2024, maybe 2025 in a few months, and we need to you need to guess. Josh, need to guess who are the teams, when was this game played, who were the judges, what was the weather, the score, who hit what, and
what's the thing?
What's the thing?
You're gonna know the teams. It's easy. The teams are gonna be easy.
Okay, so the teams are probably Boston against the Yankees. Okay, never mind.
Okay, let's start.
Spoilers.
Okay, center fielder, Angel Pagan.
Okay. Angel Pagan.
Angel.
Yeah. Right fielder, Hunter
Which is
Pence.
like one of the funniest names is an angel, but it's a pagan.
Yeah.
A pagan angel.
That's a good call. That's a good call.
Thank you. I think he played for us.
Hunter Pence was the right fielder. And Buster Posey was the catcher.
Okay.
Obviously. So those are the 2011
Yeah, we're
Rangers.
talking about the Giants.
The
for sure.
2011 Rangers? The Giants, yes.
Let's see what year,
Okay. Pablo Sandoval, the Panda, was third base.
He was?
Yeah.
It's a great team.
It's amazing.
Mike Morse played left. Adam Duvall played first.
Wow.
Joaquim Arias was the second baseman.
Okay, this is really, really early 2010s.
Yeah,
I mean, those players are not...
Yeah.
Those players were not in those positions.
Brendan Crawford was the shortstop.
Okay.
Some kind of pinch hitters with
So already that's
names.
after 2010, I think.
Yeah, have to be after 2010, I think.
I'm
they
thinking
won
like
2010, 2012,
I think 2012. That's where I'm thinking.
I think everyone here is very young. It's relatively young.
Ryan Vogelsong was the starter.
Okay.
He was.
Yeah. Meiro Petit relieved him.
Wow.
Gene Machi and Jeremy Affeldet.
See, we don't know
Okay.
anyone.
I don't know any of any of those guys.
Okay,
Relievers.
Giants.
Okay, next team. Chris Cogelham. Cogelan was the left fielder. Javier Baez started at second. Anthony Rizzo started
it's
at
the
first.
Okay.
It's the Cubs.
So this is a specific game, right? They line up in a game. Okay.
Yeah.
Starlin Castro was the shortstop.
He was?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Chris Valaika switched him after, and Luis Valbuena came to third.
That's interesting.
Wellington Castillo was the catcher.
So we're talking. Okay, now we know it's 2012 to about 2014.
Yeah.
Because 2015 is Kobe Bryant, Chris Bryant. So it's 2012 to 2014, something around that one.
Arsmendi Alcantara was the center fielder. I never heard about him.
One of the Alcantara
Ryan
brothers.
Sweeney was the right fielder.
I just think of all of them as brothers.
Tsuyoshi Wada was the pitcher.
He was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Relieved by Jacob Turner, Pedro Strop, and Hector Rondon.
That's like
These are the
sounds
teams.
like you had a stroke and you just uttering names.
Okay. So
Okay.
it's the.
It's the Giants
2012,
against the
I would
Cubs.
guess.
Yeah.
That, that would be my guess, 2012.
I would meet your 2012 and raise your 2014.
2014?
Yeah, I mean it's probably 2013, but what the hell?
Yeah. That's
August 19, 2014.
All right.
That's when the game started. Okay?
And it ended in...
And it still have not ended.
Still has not ended in 2025?
This game was protested. So,
Ooh,
here
under
are.
protest.
During the middle of the fifth inning, the umpires and the Cubs ground crew
Fifth.
were, yeah.
All right.
The Cubs were up 2-0, okay? And the Cubs ground crew were caught off guards by a sudden storm,
Okay.
okay? For 15 to 30 minutes, you have to YouTube that. They couldn't move the turf right,
Okay.
and all the infield was ruined.
It was messed up.
Yeah. So it was only 30 minutes, and they tried for 4 hours to get it better. And after 4 hours, they couldn't get it better.
Now
they
that's
called
the
the game?
thing. The idea. Technically, if you can't, I mean, let's not talk Israeli, but in the MLB, if you can't continue the game due to negligence or something like that, I mean, if you put in the tarp and it's raining for
there's nothing you can do
for
about
3
it.
hours, there's nothing you can do. But
Yeah.
if due to your, I think there was a similar thing like a couple of years ago. If your ground crew faults and can't, and the game is ruined, it's not the. I think the game might. I don't remember. There's a ruling about
So the officials and the Cubs decided the game was official and done.
that. That was in Giants.
It was in Chicago.
Oh, in Wrigley.
Yeah, and the Cubs were up 2-0. So the Giants protested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Torre was involved.
Okay.
And they decided to switch the decision. And after it's like 1 o'clock in midnight. After midnight, they finished nothing. They went home, and the day after they decided, okay, we'll continue the game 2 days later.
Right. So that's why
great.
if the game is
Yeah,
five,
it's the right
if the game is
decision.
5
Yeah.
innings,
Yeah.
then it's an official.
It's official game, yeah.
But because the ground crew, and it doesn't matter which.
Yeah, because they were at
couldn't,
fault.
couldn't,
Well, it does matter. I would say it does matter which, because it's their home game. It's their
Yeah.
responsibility
Yeah, I
to take
think-
care of the field.
2 days,
Two
two
days
days
later.
later, August 21st, and then there was a rain out.
Oh,
They had to
God.
wait another 2 hours.
It's literally when it rains, it pours.
Yeah. Eventually, the Cubs won 2-1, so the Giants just get one more run. That's it for the other 5 innings.
So
The other
did
4
they
innings.
protest that one as well?
No, that's it. That,
Alright.
that was the longest. If you add up together, it's
Right,
like
right,
6
right.
hours and 7 minutes or something like that. That's the longest rain delay in this millennium. They had one in 1991. It was 7 hours or something. I couldn't take this lineup because it's 1991. It's not in our game. It was 6 hours and 31 minutes altogether.
Well, you can say that the break between the autumn league and the spring league is also a rain delay. One long rain delay.
Yeah, we're actually, I mean...
Which is one of the reasons we need more baseball grounds, because if it's raining in Petah Tikva, we may go to Ra'anana or to Bet Shemesh or to...
So what we're trying to do for this next season, by the way, just so you know, is we're combining the fall and the spring season to one long season, starting in September and going through April, and we'll leave a month at the end of the season for makeup games that we weren't able to play during the winter because of weather. But I think having some form of continuity throughout the season, you could have a 30-game season. You know, you could have a lot of games throughout the season.
I mean, we want a lot of games,
and most of winter you could play. You know, most of winter it's fine.
I mean, I really appreciated like your idea that let players who were substituted come back if there was status. I mean, that's. We want players to play, and we also want to get on with your life. So we will cut it short here.
Yeah.
And it's funny, we're almost at the 2-hour mark, and we're cutting it short. But unlike baseball, we do have a clock somewhere.
Yeah.
And it will, and of course, first of all, I have to tell you who was the first no-hitter for the Nationals. I will go back over the names. I don't even remember. Bill Stoneman, Charlie Lee, Dennis Martinez, or Jordan Zimmerman. I only know I picked the Zimmerman.
Yeah, I took the Martinez guy.
I took B.
All right, and it's obviously A. It is A. Stoneman threw the first two. The first was a 7-0 win against the Phillies, 69. We're talking Expos. And we don't talk about the second one because it was against the Mets, but it was also 7-0. Wow, that's amazing. 2 no-hitters, 69 and 72. Both of them 7-0.
So the Expos have more no-hitters than the Mets. Is that what you're saying to me right now?
Because
the Mets have one and it's not even real one. It should have been 0. That was a fair ball. That was a fair ball that they
didn't. The Mets
didn't.
have 2. One of them is the fair ball, and another one is a combine, which they did like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So
I remember you afterwards.
So they actually have 0.
The
Still.
Nationals Expos, they obviously have I think 4 because Scherzer threw 2.
Scherzer threw 2 from the
So they have 4, I think, maybe even 5.
Gotcha.
So they have, a lot of teams have more than. I mean, the funny thing, the Padres didn't have anything, and now they have 2.
Now they have 2, exactly.
So it's like, okay, challenge accepted. Josh, it's amazing fun. I knew bringing you here would be a great talk. I didn't know how good it was going to be, and obviously you have a open invitation, Yoni.
Yeah, of course.
You know the address. Just say, guys, I'm coming. Invite yourself. We will have you anytime, any place.
Awesome.
And once again, the season is starting next month,
March 2nd.
March 2nd. We will accompany it very closely, not only on YouTube, but also here on the podcast.
Amazing.
And we will try to get players and stuff. Yeah. And now that I have all the numbers, we will finish this saga. ניתן למצוא אותנו באתר בייסבול פודקאסט co.il או ביוטיוב youtube.com/שטרודל-הוג youtube.com/שטרודל כושר hotdog. This Hebrew English thing is killing me. תוכלו למצוא את הפודקאסט באפל פודקאסט, ספוטיפיי ובכל האפליקציות האחרות. כשאתם שמה, אנא ממכם, משוב, לייק, 5 כוכבים, כל הדברים האלה. By the way, Josh, how is your relationship with Mr. Chaim Katz?
With good relationship. I mean, I haven't spoken to him in a few months. But,
which is why it's a good relationship.
Can't complain,
Yeah, he's also our executive producer.
Oh, amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Cool. And
Neither did he.
You did. Maybe you didn't know, but I know him since he was a very young soldier in the Israeli army. למעשה, אני אספתי אותו אחרי הצו הראשון, מהבקו"ם. והוא קיטר לי שאמרו לו שהוא לא ילך לקורס טייס או סיירת או זה, למה? כי יש לו עיוורון צבאי. מה אכפת לצבא שיש לו עיוורון צבאי? מה פתאום מפלים אנשים? ססה, יש לך סגול.
חמוד מאוד.
אוקיי, סורי. ניתן להמשיך את הדיון בפייסבוק או באתר המזרח שלנו, הופ.co.il, ובייסבול ישראלי ישודר כל שלישי וחמישי משעה 8 בערב בערוץ היוטיוב של ליגת הבייסבול, youtube.com/שטרודל-ישראל-בייסבול. יוני, משהו לאומה לפני
ט"ו בשבט שמח לכולם. זה היה אתמול, ולנטיינס, והבת הגדולה שלי נולדה בט"ו בשבט, גל.
בגלל זה היא נקראת ככה.
היא נקראת, אתה רוצה? נפתח כאילו? תרצה בדקה אני פה.
לא נקראת שיח?
לא, יש לה מזל, טוב, בוא.
יש לה מגל. Josh, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. This was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed this conversation. And I'm looking forward to everything, in the future with you guys, whether it be have to do with the league, the podcast, and
we're here.
We're here, and ותודה לכם אנשים יקרים על ההאזנה לאי כושר הוטדוג עם יוני לב-ארי וארז שץ ובייסבול טוב ישראל.
יאללה ביי.
Swung on a drill to right field. Going back Sanders on the track at the wall. See ya! See ya! See ya! A home run!
Yeah.
You know Seinfeld?
Of course.
So there's this thing about George hitting home runs and telling Jeter and Bernie Williams, listen to me and you start winning games. And he said, we just won the World Series like in 6 games.
And then they went up and won and swept the next 2 seasons.
Which
true.
means they listened.
Yeah, they listened to George.
They listened.
Yeah, they did.
That's the budget.
Tonight's catcher.
And the pitcher they got.
They got Alex Faedo,
No, not him.
Joe Boyle.
No.
That's it.
They didn't sign a pitcher?
That's the names.
Ken. You know, Yoni always bring in something like, this guy died and that throws me for a loop. Now you brought the happy feeling and threw me for a loop. I should actually say, please don't say anything.